Hello, welcome one and all to Codeweaver Plays Games. I'm going to play some more games. So today I am going to, at least for a little while, try to get through the last case of Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter, which is creaky chair, because chair is always creaky. Because I've been playing it for a while, and I'd like to actually get through a few games on this channel. I started a few and haven't always finished them for a variety of reasons. I should actually focus on singular games more or set up a schedule for myself. I'm not sure when I'm going to get back to Heaven's Vault. I'm having too much fun watching another streamer play it, and so I'm somewhat less inclined to power through it myself because they're doing it at least as fast as I could, and I don't have a week off. Lovely game, quite enjoyed it. It's also not a blind run though, and I'd like to do a few more blind games. Probably ones other streamers are doing, but it's like I'll notice that they're doing something interesting, and it's like, nope, I want to play this myself. Shut it all down, try to go into the game completely blind. Mostly because that's the way I get recommendations on what games are good out there. Piggybacking on streamers who have already found stuff fun. Because I don't have a whole lot of people recommending me games. But that's okay, because I'm kind of new at this, only really been doing it, 4 or 5 months or something like that, and I'm mostly just doing it for my own sake, just to put a little of myself out there. Anyway, enough babbling about me. You're here to see me play a game, if anybody's watching this at all. So, let me see here. I think I've got my audio set up correctly, and I'm just going to switch over to my... where is it? My gaming scene in OBS. And hey, there we go. And I'm just going to double check to make sure it shows up on stream. Quick additional audio check in the other headsets. Yeah, that's okay. And so, yeah, let's just get right back into this. Because one of the things about this is if you lose track of where the case file has gone, then it's a little harder to get back into it. Mysteries are kind of like that, right? So let's hit continue. Now, I gather, actually, that this is part of a much longer series of games where they put together different case files. I might pick up more of these, especially if they come on sale on Steam. I quite like this series. I think it's pretty well put together. All right, continue. Oh, yes, okay, so... let's try to get a handle on why we're in this spot. We just spent the last session trying to sneak our way through that graveyard, and I'm not 100% sure why... Oops. I'm not 100% sure why I'm here. There has been somebody doing an attempt on my life. Trace Orson Wilde. Alright, let's see if we can get a handle on where we were. The Green Dog Tavern we went into, snuck into a gambling den in order to track down... some loot that was exchanged. Stolen from my place, stolen from a few places, I think. Boy, it's hard to catch up to where we were. I should really play these back to back. Where can I go to get a handle? Alright, so... Alright. So, working our way back... what we seem to have is a number of ne'er-do-wells of various natures who are trying to, I don't know, I guess get me in trouble or kill me. And some of them have different motivations. So, good heavens, how am I going to be able to figure out... how on earth am I going to figure out what was going on here? Percy the Dart Fleming. Is the father, I think, of one of these characters. Let's remind you that this world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, especially those who don't keep their promises. Good heavens. How can I get myself back up to speed on the case file? Under the seamstress. I'm never going to be able to figure out where I was here. Okay. We had 2 people incarcerated at Scotland Yard, both of which have some sort of direct or indirect association with me. I know where I can go. I can go into... Maybe. Might be able to go into... there we go. Had to scroll on my keys. This is the clues mechanism. All right, so we've got this. Okay, so let's see. Let's go all the way back. At the start of this, we've had this ongoing issue with an actor in this case anyway, who has shown up to try to study me and become me as Sherlock Holmes. He's trying to get into the role. He's an American. He's obviously come to London in order to study my methods and study my behaviors, and he's doing enough method acting, I think, to get into the role as well as he can. And so one of the questions, because he's starting to get himself and us into trouble, started to get me into trouble, by interacting with the police and going to places that I'm investigating and getting caught out as if he were me, just basically interfering with my investigation. And the question is, for example, he destroyed work that I was doing at my analysis table, which is now, I think, effectively unusable, or at least the evidence that was there on the person who attacked me with was it attacked me with a bomb. The evidence was destroyed, and it's like, did he do this on purpose? So that's one of the things we're talking about. He visited the Green Dragon. My assumption is that he did everything he could to help me, including assuming the role of detective at the Green Dragon Tavern. So I was trying to get in there under the guise of basically being someone else and basically a bandit or whatever, trying to get into the back rooms, a gambler, a bandit. And in the meantime, this guy comes in and takes on the role of me at the tavern, which arguably forms a kind of deception, but boy, it just complicates matters when I'm there and I'm also there. And of course, I had to get him out of there, which, pain in the butt. Okay, he's obsessed with the idea of being me. He's a fine actor. The reporters didn't notice that he was not Sherlock Holmes. I'm not convinced he's obsessed I kind of think he's obsessed in the sense that he wants to become a really good actor of me and is kind of full of himself. But maybe that's just him. Maybe that's just, it's hard for me to take him seriously as somebody doing this intentionally. And I don't think he's obsessed with literally being me. I think he's obsessed in pretending to be me. And I had this discussion in the last episode of this Twitch. The wording here was complicated, but interpreting the wording the right way, I kind of guess that I kind of think he's just an actor, but he's getting himself into dangerous situations. Okay. Fleming's motive. Percy the Dark Fleming has a strong motive to kill Sherlock Holmes, who wants revenge due to his long prison spell and resulting financial problems. Right. Alright. The bomb that was thrown was handmade by Jeremiah. Not sure entirely. What's Jeremiah's motive? Do we know that? The man with the hair lip came to the tavern to meet Jack Cole the following night after the attempt on Holmes' life. So there was an attempt on my life. Jack Cole is, I guess, a fence? Jack the Hammer Cole has a strong motive to kill Sherlock Holmes. He wants revenge for his brother, who was severely injured during a police raid organized by Sherlock Holmes. Alright. So, having looked in that space, let us quickly go back into here. We went to Jeremiah's mother. Jeremiah's mother was extremely religious. We used that fact to convince her that we should look around the place. I don't recall exactly what we found there, but that enabled us to apprehend Fleming. We examined his stuff at Scotland Yard. We apprehended Jack Cole. Those are the two that we have in there. We do not yet have the hair-lipped man. Okay. Percy Fleming's belongings. Perhaps my archive could help decipher them. Okay. We'll take a look at that in a second. Okay, so Jeremiah is 95 pounds in debt to Percy the Dart Fleming, so that was the connection there. Percy Fleming stated that Jack Cole supplied girls to his brothel, so that was the connection between Fleming and Cole. Fleming does seem to be at the heart of at least some of this. Percy Fleming stated that Jeremiah often begged for odd jobs in order to earn money. Okay, so Fleming has always, has debt problems. The Dart threatened to take Jeremiah's sister to the brothel, presumably as a way of sort of, quote, extracting the 95 pounds out of a family member. Seriously skeevy. Like, terrible. Ugh. Jack Cole blames Sherlock Holmes for his brother's accident, so we know that. An innocent man, Hagen Cole, who is apparently Jack Cole's brother, severely injured in the police raid. So, Jack Cole may have been into some bad stuff, but Hagen Cole, his brother, was apparently innocent. And Jack took exception to his death. Okay. Man with hair lip pawned his belongings at Butler's pawn shop. It kind of suggests he needed money, but I'm not sure if that means that he is Jeremiah, still working this angle. Photograph of the man with the hair lip with his family. Alright. Man with the hair lip brought Jack Cole a bag containing valuable loot. It is in a secret room. And that's what we found in the Green Dragon. So, another way of generating income. Man with the hair lip came to the Green Dragon to speak to Jack Cole, the boss. Okay. But as another vein, like a lot of this has to do with like cases or interactions that have occurred in the past coming back to haunt Sherlock, and this is another angle. This William Hamilton was arrested by Sherlock Holmes, by me, and later died in 1880. Alice is the lady who is currently occupying a room in Baker Street, the spare room in Baker Street, or like at least next door anyway. And who has been playing nice with apparently Sherlock's adopted daughter. She doesn't seem directly to have a vendetta against Holmes, but is apparently some sort of spirit medium. And to the extent that they exist as real things in this storyline, I'm not sure what to take about what her motives truly are, but it seems that she talks to her father, which is a little weird, but okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense if she really does have those powers and her father died. But the thing is, she's not sort of necessarily directly holding us responsible, it seems. Like, she doesn't seem to have a directly malicious intent. Still suspicious about that. Okay, we're catching up to where we are here. Okay, so this is the description of the attacker. 5'5" in height, black hair, has a hair lip. The knife with the initials JT was found in the attacker's jacket pocket. JT, is that Jeremiah? What is Jeremiah's last name? We need people. Percy Fleming, also known as the Dart. Yeah, Percy's not hurting for money. I need... I really kind of want to know what Jeremiah's last name is, but I don't know if it's in my notes here. Might be in my evidence gathering then, though. Yeah, it's not clear. Also, it's interesting to note that the lady next door did not sign in as Alice Hamilton, but as Alice de Bouvier. Taking her mother's name, I guess, or at least signing in as her mother. Huh. All right. Enough review. You came here to see me play a game. Let's try to get back into this. So we stopped just after arriving here, and I think we investigated this. We did a deduction, brute force, panic reflex, fresh stains, possibly a kidnapping. Not sure, but we have not yet actually gone into the building. And when last I actually left this, we were wandering around through the back here. Yeah, oh, right, because they kidnapped the actor, I think, as if he were me. That's part of that ongoing,
Something moved. Something moved.
You are caught. I am not paying attention and not remembering the mechanics of this game. Another reason to try to follow this thing, like to push through a mystery sort of in bigger goes, so that I don't lose the thread of things. Right, this mode allows me to, among other things, to see where people are moving. Okay, let's... I know I could actually sort of more directly follow him, which would be easier, but I'm being a little contrary.
The cousin's out fighting bobbies and stealing antiques, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Relax, Mike. You got to earn it first.
How long will that take? 2 years already and nothing's changed.
I know, mate, but one of these days I'm sure it must be notice us.
Something moved.
Several kinds of bad.
Something moved. That was not.
Lord. Okay. I am clearly not with it today. Let's try this again. I was actually trying to get back here to see if there's anything sort of interesting in this back area, but I don't think there is. Oh, but there might be here. No, just the light, which, don't get me wrong, that's useful and all, but...
The cousin's out fighting bobbies and stealing antiques, and what do I get? Guard duty.
I heard something.
Something...
Got caught on the geo. Although I don't think I would have been able to outrun him anyway. Alright. I'm being sloppy. Stop that, Code Weaver. Enough sloppiness. Just sad. I'm gonna do this the route that I actually did last time. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I can get up against these boxes and listen in while still being hidden by both groups, I think.
Fighting bobbies and stealing antiques, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Relax, Mike. You got to earn it first.
How long will that take? 2 years already and nothing's changed.
I know, mate, but one of these days I'm sure the boss will notice us.
Okay, so I clearly can't go in there. Maybe I can go around this way. Oh yeah, clearly. That's fine. Oh, this is a whole lot of complicated. I've had puzzles like this. Okay. Looks like our cue to drop back down again. Ooh. Yeah, several kinds of not good. Alright. Yes, patrol the other way, please. Let's get into this nook in the back here and see. Okay, so that's a door we clearly want to go to, but I just want to see if there's anything back here. Nope, and now we're going to get in trouble if we don't hide, so... Is there anything actually back here? There's a whole area back there.
Something moved. I heard something.
No, he didn't. Interesting. But I don't think I actually want to get into that area anyway. I don't think there's anything over there. I think the place that I'm actually meant to get into is back here anyway.
Something moved. Stop! It's
Ah! Oh, at least it started me up here. Boy, I am feeling feeble. Well, I'm taking risks, right? I'm trying to see where I can go to that's kind of out of the way. Just not very good at it, apparently, today. Alright. Alright, here we go.
It's closed.
Oh! Brilliant! That's just great. Okay, thought this was going to be easy, but apparently it's going to take me a little bit of figuring things out. This is bad. So this is actually a pretty good hiding place when he's walking one direction, but not the other. Good to know, good to know. Maybe I can sneak across here.
The sound of a gong will attract guards. I need to be careful.
Alright, well, let's...
Boys, check out that sound. There's someone there.
Alright. Well, that's at least got me to the door. Okay, then. Simple enough puzzle.
Hey! What?
Uh...
We need to get out of here.
What the hell have you done, man? I mean, either you're not as innocent as I think you are, or you're getting really way too seriously caught up in the role, and in either case, that's not a good move. What the hell, man? Okay, granted, he was in dire situation, thought he was going to be probably captured, tortured, something.
Glad you're here.
What's happened, Mr. Holmes?
We've come from the abandoned St. Patrick's Abbey. I uncovered a gang of armed bandits there who did their best to kill me.
Again? I'll send our best team to arrest them.
I doubt that you'll find anyone left, but if you hurry up, you might just find the spoils left over from their burglaries.
I see.
And I'll be very grateful if you could keep an eye on Mr. Wilde here.
But Holmes.
Bit of an idiot. Alright. Let's go back to information we found. So Oscar Wilde is at the Abbey with Jeremiah and other bandits. Yes, we know that. So, oh, but we can have a dialogue with him. Okay, here we go.
Wilde, please try to remember.
Yeah, the slightest detail, etc. Well, apart from the smell of those bandits who kidnapped me, nothing special. And this Jeremiah was spending his time complaining about working for the fart.
I think you mean the dart.
Yeah, whatever. Jeremiah said that they should all wait till the fart was released. It makes no sense, right?
Okay, which means maybe one of them is already in here. So, okay, let's... This is where we start connecting things. Okay. Could be that Orson is actually play acting at being an actor. Like, because Jeremiah had spoken of working for Percy the Dark Fleming. Oh, I don't know how these connect. This is interesting. Is there a connection between the threat and it? No, not that. Not you. Really? Can I, thank you, deselect everything. Okay, the threats. It's possible Percy the Dart Fleming used Jeremiah for his dirty work because of the latter's debts. Okay, Fleming no longer needs the money back. Or Jeremiah owes a large sum of money to Percy the Dart Fleming. That is the reason for the blackmail. I'm gonna have to check out the threats. Or to say that Jeremiah had spoken of working for Percy the Dart Fleming. Could tie him, but doesn't tie him into the attacker. Isn't that interesting? See, I kind of feeling like I'm... Okay, so there's a connection there. Now, what was the connection here? Orson's testimony that Jeremiah... oh, okay, the truth, or it could be a lie. Orson is lying about the dart. He stated that Jeremiah was working for Percy, the Dart Fleming, to lead us on the wrong path. Okay, so... Yeah, I think in the past couple of streams on this game, I've been a little bit more ahead of the game than I am now, but maybe I'm just a little tired this weekend, and I'm not seeing... So, okay, I'm at least not getting ahead of these clues. I'm clicking randomly, which is not a good way to play these games. I mean, it is a good way to play these games if all you're interested in is maybe getting through them. I'm more interested in trying to actually reason this out ahead of time, but I'm having difficulty this weekend. But here's the thing. If Orson's testimony that Jeremiah works for Percy the Dart Fleming it sounds trustworthy, and Percy the Dart Fleming was using Jeremiah for his dirty work because of the latter's debts. I'm gonna go with... money is the motivation for the moment? Well, maybe not. Because that just opened up. So if the truth is that Orson's testimony that is that the dart that the Jeremiah is working for the dart is trustworthy. It's possible that Percy Dart Fleming used Jeremiah for his dirty work because of the latter's debts. Fleming no longer needs the money back, so is willing to let Jeremiah be killed. Fleming's motive. Percy the Dart Fleming has a strong motive to kill Sherlock Holmes, who wants revenge. So he coerces Jeremiah to make the bomb. I don't have enough on Cole, though. I'm not really willing to mark down Percy as being guilty yet. So what happens if I go the other way? What happens if Orson is lying about the dart? But why would Orson lie about the dart? If Orson lies about the dart, part of that vanishes. If I switch this over to being about money, is there a new connection that forms? No. As far as I know, no. What if Orson got involved, though, in order to... Because if this becomes not a coincidence... So that it could get caught on purpose... Not really buying this myself. That's why I went with these other angles. Go back to clues. I need more clues. Jeremiah's death. Orson killed Jeremiah when Holmes came to the Abbey. That's so weird. But there's no link there as if there's some sort of cover-up. Alright, so Orson and Jeremiah were both at the Abbey. I mean, these trivially connect. Orson feared for his life and killed Jeremiah in self-defense. Now, that is kind of what I was saying. But if Orson was somehow directly involved in this and wanted to cover up his involvement, he'd want to make sure that Jeremiah couldn't squeal. Right? So if this was murder, then this could actually tease out as on purpose. Which means he was getting involved on purpose. So this is a different connection. If Orson was involved. But this doesn't explain why Orson Wilde took this circuitous path to do this. I'm sorry, I'm not really buying it right now. So Jeremiah's the bomb. All right, so what do we got? The man with the hair that came to the. Yeah, these don't connect. Oh, these do connect. Why would those connect? Jeremiah's the person whom we saw at the tavern, and the same man who made the attempt on Holmes's life. Well, okay, so I was wondering about JT, right, on the knife blade, because the knife blade was on the attacker. I was actually vaguely wondering, just this stream, whether Jeremiah is the hair-lipped man. That connects to Visitor, which is... Now there came to the tavern to meet Jack Cole following the on the following night after the attempt. Okay. So Jeremiah visited Jack the Hammer Cole to discuss the attempted assassination of Sherlock Holmes and discuss the next stage of the plan. Well, there does seem to be a concerted effort by people in the past. Trying to kill Sherlock Holmes. Okay. But none of this actually assassinated Sherlock. Okay, so if the attempted assassination is on Sherlock Holmes, and this actor got in the way, then that could explain some of the sort of confusion of identities that led to Orson doing the stabbing. All right. But he was down on his luck in terms of money. I'm not sure which one of these to go with. Jack wanted to kill Sherlock Holmes. Okay. Who is Jeremiah working for or with? Because all of this section here, Fleming's motive, he wants revenge. Jeremiah is just getting coerced. If Jeremiah is getting coerced, then so as a result of the clues that we've uncovered, because I can't apparently see the threads of the story ahead of time, we have deduced this connection. This connection is sort of not in doubt. Jeremiah is the person we saw in the tavern. Now, so that means he is the hair-lipped man. Okay, so hang on. We got to go back out to the... I don't have enough info here. I need to go back out to the... Percy stated Jeremiah often begged for odd jobs in order to earn money. The Dart threatened to take Jeremiah's sister to the brothel. So this isn't in question. We found this letter. Let's actually go and see if we can find that letter. Threatening letter. Remind you that the world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, especially for those who don't keep their promises to finish what they started. It'd be pretty rotten if... so finish what they started. Getting involved with Sherlock Holmes' death, perhaps? Or is there something else? It's not Hamilton's death I'm after. Man with the hair lip, who is presumably Jeremiah, pawned his belongings. So that's also in evidence. That suggests he is still suffering from money issues. Man with the hair lip has a family. The loot was recently brought, so Jeremiah is still in need of money. Doing a lot of umming. Jeremiah is currently 95 pounds in debt to Percy the Dart Fleming. Okay. Jeremiah often begged for odd jobs in order to earn money. Except that that threatening letter doesn't mention money. It mentions finishing what you started. Go and review that threatening letter again. So the Dart Fleming is definitely making a threat here. A lot of money coming in for the hammer. Who the heck is the hammer again? Walking through my list. Jack the Hammer Cole. So Jack Cole has recently come into a fair bit of money from gambling. Probably doesn't need to fence those goods. Okay, because of that, wow. I just don't get Oscar Wilde's motive. I mean, yeah, he might be obsessed. I mean, if he's not obsessed, and we take away that, then as far as the game is concerned, so he just wants to be Sherlock Holmes. I'm not really getting the motive here. Okay, Jeremiah needed the money, but it's likely that Jack the Hammer Cole did not, because Jack the Hammer Cole had a windfall in gambling, quite a sizable one. What is the connection between the dart and Cole? Orson is lying about the dart. He stated that Jeremiah was working with Percy the Dart Fleming. I don't think this is the case. Jeremiah owes a large sum of money to Percy the Dart Fleming. That is the reason for the blackmail. Because finish what you started doesn't sound like, you owe me a pile of money. It's like you have a task. No, I want to... Sorry, just flipping these over to see how this connects up. It's in fright. I don't know if I'd really buy that the actor would do that, though. This makes no sense to be. I have no more clues. You found all used. Please use the detection space and form your conclusion. So this is literally it. This is where I'm at. See if I can go talk to these guys again. I mean, I do have the dialogue when I chatted with them, so I will look at that.
Mr. Holmes? What's the reason for my arrest? This is an outrage.
No, can't talk
Is
to
this gonna
him.
take long?
Can't talk to him, and going in here is pointless. All right. So, what Fleming is saying is he was at the White Swan, the brothel. He doesn't need an alibi. A threat just came in, just a reminder for him to pay his debts. It's just a small one, and it's a matter of principle. He's always coming around looking for odd jobs, but he talks rubbish, he's off his head. Do you have any business with Jack the Hammer Cole? Yeah, I'm worried. I'd be worried about him if I were you. He told me what you did to his brother, and let's say he hates you. Well, okay. So he's denying being involved in the assassination attempt on me, which is okay. Because I wouldn't expect anything else. The threatening letter by Fleming is, say, finish what you started, which doesn't, to me, sound like a money thing. It sounds like he started with trying to get me killed and then went to the bomb route as the as the act of finishing what he started, and him getting killed was a bit of an accident, but don't like this. So, Jack the Hammer Cole, we meet again. Why am I here? Don't pretend you don't know. You are a suspect in an attempt made on my life. Just like the old days, eh? Alright. You're the one responsible for him becoming incredibly was innocent. An accident, you say. I can't wait for the moment you get whacked proper. You know what happened to Baker Street? I do, but I had nothing to do with it. And where were you? I was at my tavern. I went to your place and I saw a man with a hair lip arriving to meet with you. What business do you have with him? He's a regular customer. What about the suitcase that he brought? Found the secret room. They don't want to know each other. Okay. Jeremiah's mother. So, oh no, it's my. You appear grieved just because of the children. I feel he's doing bad things. Become nervous, angry, and rude. And he used to be such a nice boy. Don't spend any time at all with us. Not even Janet, his younger sister. He hides himself away in his room and locks the door. He won't open it for anyone. I don't know where he is. He hasn't come back from last night. Perhaps his absence is connected to the job. Okay. Yeah, lots of convincing him that we were that we were pastor, I guess, reverend. Thing is, the actor seems to me like a bit of an idiot, but he could be play acting, being a bit of an idiot. The thing is, I just don't know why Orson would be involved in this at all. Like, why would he be involved in any of this caper? Like, I'm just not seeing that, right? Because in order to make this work the other way, here's what we have to do. We have to have that he intentionally killed Holmes. Sorry, intentionally killed Jeremiah. He deliberately destroyed evidence. He helped Holmes with the song so that he could himself be caught there. Like, if Orson had a motive, and wanted to get close to this guy, maybe getting caught might be a way to do it, perhaps. But it seems like, I don't know, seems fairly long game to play. Obsessed with the idea of being Sherlock Holmes. Like, being Sherlock Holmes is a lousy way to get connected through all of this. And if the truth is that Orson is lying about the dart, he said that Jeremiah was working for Percy the Dart Fleming to lead us on the wrong path. If we connect things up this way... No, not help. Help knows the song to be caught there, obsessed, on purpose, and murder a lie. Why is Orson involved in this crime at all? What's the connection? If Jeremiah was in cahoots, I don't believe he'd be in cahoots with Orson. Like, I don't see that connection either. What am I missing? I'm missing something here. The bomb was definitely handmade by Jeremiah. He's involved in that sense. The reason for him lying about the dart is so that Orson's testimony that Jeremiah works for Percy the Dart Fleming sounds trustworthy. Alright, you know what? Let's hang on. Let's actually go and check to see if we can find I don't remember where he actually made that claim. And this is all about Alice. Trying to find any indication through this. Oh, okay, so here we go. This is actually right at the end here. This Jeremiah was spending his time complaining about working for the Dart. Jeremiah said that they should all wait until the Dart was released. The one time we need Orson Wilde to behave like Sherlock Holmes, he clearly doesn't, because he just doesn't remember. So it was actually right at the tail end where he made that claim. I just don't... I don't get the motivation. I'm going to be wrong here, but probably, but I just don't get the motivation as to why. Somebody can post in the comments and maybe I'll eventually see it. But I'm going to say that Orson Wilde is not guilty because I just don't see a motive unless he is. We know, like, he isn't Jeremiah or the hair-lipped man. Because we have that one person. Jeremiah is the person we saw at the tavern and the same person who made the attempt on Holmes's life. And the person who made... Yeah, so... Unless he is Jeremiah's son. But he's not, because Jeremiah got killed. I think he's an incompetent buffoon. But maybe I'm just missing something. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think that was a coincidence. That connects up differently. He's just an actor. I'm just not buying it. But if that's true, then Orson's testimony that he's working for Fleming is true. It's possible that Percy the Dark Fleming used Jeremiah for his dirty work because of the latter's debts. Fleming no longer needs the money back. I think that's more of a motivation than the money, in the sense that... I don't know. But if I connect it up this way, I get Percy Fleming is guilty. Here it is. Jeremiah visited Jack the Hammer Cole to discuss the attempted assassination. Jeremiah visited Jack the Hammer Cole only to bring back stolen items, probably to sell. Jeremiah may still have money problems. Like, this being stolen doesn't seem to connect to anything. One more time through the possibilities here. If these are all... These are all reversed. Do I get any additional connections? This still doesn't connect. No, because this has to be money in order for these ones to connect. Okay, here's the thing. Let's say he truly is obsessed and wants to become me. This doesn't help him do this. Like, yes, it does. Because if he wanted to kill me, but couldn't kill me, because the bomb didn't work, this is a long way to get rid of Holmes, though. Could it be that Orson was attempting to frame both Cole and Fleming? If he went to Jack Cole following the night after the attempt on Holmes's life, the attempt failed. So let's say that this is all true. The attempt failed. He realized that that Percy was going to go after his sister, Jeremiah's sister, decided to try to pay him off, and what he decided to do was to fence a lot of goods immediately after the failed attempt to Jack Cole in order to generate that money because it failed. But then that implies that Fleming was involved in all of this. If finish what you started really did mean in fact money, and he had nothing to do with the bombing attack, that does weirdly hang together. So Orson is obsessed enough to try to get me killed. He works with Jeremiah in order to try to kill me. That fails. But then maybe Orson says, well, you didn't do the job, so I'm not going to pay you. So Jeremiah fences some materials with Jack Cole in order to make the money back. Jack doesn't really need the money, but that's not necessarily his motive. This is tough because there's a coincidence here that two people who wanted to kill Holmes were so readily at hand and were in fact involved sort of indirectly. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, the other coincidence is that we just have a bumbling actor who got involved in all of this, and then at the end decided to stab his attacker. And he didn't seem to be necessarily. He had a lot of bravado, but I don't know. Like, it's a long step from even if you're stressed out, it's a long step from bravado to literally stabbing someone. Maybe but. If Fleming owed a lot of money, indicated by this, and that's the reason for the blackmail, Jeremiah makes the bomb, tries to kill Holmes for Orson, fails, and doesn't get paid. And so out of desperation, he goes and goes a different route and attempts to fence a bunch of items in order to make the money to pay off Jeremiah. And so this is the coincidence on that grounds. The biggest problem I have with Orson is, aside from the obsession, there's no direct motive, and that's one wacky obsession. It kind of hangs together, like you could spin a story around it, but is it that? Or is it that Orson was just stumbling around the edges of this? In any case, once we got to the point where Orson was kidnapped, this is so weird. That would kind of imply that he wasn't kidnapped. He was brought in order to, I don't know what, trap Holmes? I don't know. There could be a bit of video or dialogue or something that kind of, like, that I don't have in my logs that I'm missing that would help me distinguish between these. I'm starting to find this plausible if Orson Wilde is in fact completely insanely obsessed and wants to become me, but also at the tail end there has to cover up Jeremiah's involvement by killing him at the last minute. Fleming's motive is that he was using... so the other option, the thing that it hinges on here, is that Jeremiah owes a large sum of money to Percy the Dart Fleming, and it's a reason for the blackmail. It's possible that Percy the Dart Fleming used Jeremiah for his dirty work because of the latter's debts. We can't connect Jack Cole to this. There's a motive, but there doesn't appear to be any opportunity, and in fact the game isn't letting us walk through this. Yeah, that vanishes if this guy has an attempt. Can we connect Cole to this? Is there a path here that enables us to connect this at all? Because I don't see how to connect that to anything. Which means maybe I didn't pick up a clue and it's basically stalling me at this point. Fright coincidence, just an actor, help. There's just no connection over there. So strange. I've got to call it here at some point. Alright. Can we explain these stolen items? If Peter Fleming is guilty. It's possible that Percy the Dart Fleming used Jeremiah for his dirty work as the latter's debt. Fleming no longer needs his money back. Fleming may still have additional Fleming no longer needs the money back. Bomb maker. Bomb was thrown into it. The truth. Okay. Yeah, the minute I do that, all of those vanish. This is the only one that connects up with a clear motive that makes any kind of sense. Because there had to have been easier ways to replace Holmes than doing all of that. Like, Orson isn't after revenge. If Orson is obsessed, why go through all of this juggling? I don't know. Fleming's motive makes more sense to me. But I have to one more check through the archives here to find out. Percy Fleming does not need money right now. So that does hang together, actually. Because although Percy Fleming may have a revenge thing going on, it's not necessarily about the money anymore. Percy Fleming is well off with a completely disgusting and skeevy sort of I'm going to assume it was disgusting and skeevy. I don't have a problem with sex workers. That's not for me what this is about. I'm going to presume that this was not an establishment that took care of its ladies. All right, I gotta get more liquid. See, I mean, clearly the fact that he was willing to essentially coerce the sister into the place makes it a not very nice place at all. But the point is, for the sake of the mystery here, he was well off. That actually hangs together. I have to go with motive. The other motive is just a little bit too ridiculous because there's just not enough connecting it. I mean, I get that, yeah. this is an interesting distinction here. Now, if it weren't for the fact that we had the threatening letter, I could see the second one as being an interesting story idea. But I'm going to go with Condemn Percy Fleming, precisely because we have that threatening letter. Although, no. There is no although. The threatening letter exists. It was not this one. If I'm going down this road at all, it's definitely condemning Percy Fleming.
Percy Fleming, you are charged with conspiracy to murder.
What?
You used Jeremiah Thorne in your little game because you didn't want your hands dirty.
Yeah, lying.
Jeremiah spoke to me before you died of how you ordered him to throw the bomb and, after its failure, to abduct me.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up. I think that it's perfectly clear. Attacking Mr. Sherlock Holmes is one of the quickest ways to be hanged.
No, you can't do that. I'm an innocent man.
Constable, take him back to the cells.
I probably got this one wrong. It probably was Orson, but... No, I'm going to accept it. The thing is, I like the twistedness of the idea that it was Orson, but there just wasn't a motive. And if you claim obsession was the motive, then the way he got involved makes no sense. He certainly wasn't going to replace me. He wasn't good enough to become me. I may have been able to visually trick people, but no, I'm just going to accept it. I had to make a choice. This one was tough, not on moral grounds, but just because I had to fight through to get to what I thought was a good choice, and I'm still not totally convinced.
Holmes, you simply have to face up to it. You need to have a serious discussion with Kate about her origins. I can't. No more excuses. She will learn soon enough that Alice is leaving. This other little secret. She will not forgive you.
She does not need to know why.
No? So she will blame you for Alice's departure. Is that what you want?
No, I certainly... It's as Kate said, I always do the wrong thing where she's concerned.
Now look here. I'll take care of your case once we're back at Vegas.
Cabby, why have we stopped?
The road to the square is blocked, sir.
Why?
There's been a bad road accident.
Oh, splendid.
Okay. What the...
We'd better hurry. There may be injured who need help.
Well, yeah, book it. Come on, let's figure it out.
He has stopped breathing. There's no heart. His pupils are constricted, but they are moving. He is still alive. I must act quickly to save him.
Okay. Let's figure this out. Oh god. Alright. Right, I get it. Hold. Interesting little mini game.
Thank goodness. This man will live. Holmes, don't just stand there. Do something.
Don't worry, I'm okay.
Perhaps Holmes will find a way to get his off.
Don't worry.
Please move to a safer area, sir.
Okay.
I would have died if not for you.
No visible wounds, not injured. Trapped leg. Okay. What else am I looking for? Okay, fine. Weird observation, but okay.
Can't lift it with my bare hands.
Okay. Time to help out. Go.
Perhaps Holmes will find a way to free this pawn man.
Okay, let's book it over here.
I need help. Oh, what a terrible accident.
Construction axe. What else am I meant to be looking at? So weird little mechanic. Oh, hello. Is there a... Door hinges. Could be broken. Observation complete. So let's go and grab the axe and let's have at that hinge. Come on. Let's do the thing. Come on. Okay, great. Let's,
Please help me. My leg.
My name is Dr. Watson.
I need
Let me
help.
examine.
Somebody.
Okay.
Help. Hurts.
There's some extreme bruise.
Okay.
Bones appear to be broken.
Somebody.
I think that an improvised bandage will do for now. One moment, and I'll fetch what I need.
Help.
Wow, this is a...
Let me apply the bandage.
Okay. I don't know how to do that.
I need something else.
Help.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
I see no visible injuries. Perhaps I could use ammonia.
Oh, my head.
God, this is kind of horrific, actually, trying to figure out... Well, it's like serious triage going on here. What's...
Shoulder. I'm a doctor.
Gently rotated, injured arm to find the best spot with less tension to mend. Okay. Oh, okay.
Thank you for your help.
Okay, okay. Can we come around to this person?
Perhaps Holmes will find a way to fix this problem.
Okay. So there's that. You're fine. Did I lose somebody over here, possibly? I lost somebody in the fire. Okay, I did not do this well. I did not sort of...
That feels better. Thank you.
Light bleeding. Bleeding will stop naturally. Okay. As far as his body trapped legs. Okay. Handsaw can cut scaffolds. Okay. What else I'm supposed to be looking at here? Something about the harness, maybe? Scaffolding. That was weird. I thought I passed over that, but that's alright. Oh, okay. I see. Here's a silly little mouse moving mechanic. I can dig it. Right, let's get in here. Lost one to the fire because of bad timing. Okay, well, that's me.
Holmes, it appears the police have arrested someone. Perhaps it is the person responsible for this disaster.
Orson. Yeah, I did lose someone, and I feel bad about that, but I did not get the mechanic until way too late. Alright, here we go.
Let me go. You're talking nonsense.
Insulting a police constable, eh? That's quite enough.
What's happening here, Constable?
Mr. Holmes, this gentleman here is the fellow who built the scaffolding which collapsed and caused this accident.
That ain't true.
How were you hurt?
This hammer hit me on the leg.
How?
It flew out from the scaffolding I put up. When the damn thing collapsed, the hammer flew out and cost me
You were
leg.
standing over there at the time.
Oh, aye. Yeah, that's right.
So it would not have been possible for him to bring the scaffolding down, Constable.
Perhaps it was poorly constructed.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. And what made it fall? Perhaps it was you, waving around that rotten stick of yours.
You'll wind up getting a taste of it if you carry on like this.
One moment, Constable. The scaffolding here has been entirely dislodged. It is unlikely that this disaster could have been the fault of this gentleman.
Oh, hello. I actually have people in chat.
And if you could possibly be of use...
Oh, hello. Sorry about that.
Do not grant access nor allow me to use them.
Give me a moment.
Absolutely, Mr. Holmes.
Trying to listen in on the chat. Okay, or on the
This
dialogue.
accident is a little unusual. I need to concentrate on the details.
All right.
I must
Hi guys. Sorry I didn't see you guys wander in. But I don't often get many visitors. So hey, yay! Welcome by. I hope you some of you are still here. That game is only for PC, or can I find it on console? I actually don't know the answer to that. I'm currently playing it on PC, but look up Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. It is apparently part of a series, each of which I think contains a couple of different cases and with some sort of overarching story elements. I'm quite enjoying it. We also have What Do You Mind with Blind? What do you mean with blind? Because I never played the game. That's true. Yes. Sorry. Blind playthrough, yes. Sorry. I should probably choose a better term, but that does seem to be a fairly common term out there. It was not meant to refer to anybody who is in fact blind. I apologize if that was a thing that was inferred or there was some confusion there. I just have not played through this game before, which is why I'm stumbling around quite a bit. Hi, welcome to my stream. I'm going to continue the stream because I'm here to play games. And clearly I have to give myself more time to like look over at the stream and actually view what people are doing. So, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So especially when I'm playing a game like this, right, where I'm so focused on trying to find connections between things and I just forget to look over and I get lost in my own thoughts. But in any case, elements found 0 out of 13. All right, I don't have my super spectral knowledge vision or whatever it is in this game that enables me to spot clues. So this is just going to be I guess it's a point and click because I'm not entirely sure what so many different interface mechanics in this. If anything else, this is a lesson in how many user interfaces you can cram into one game. I don't see anything here that's actually clickable, and that's not a usual mechanic for this game in quite this way. If I hit escape, what happens? Elements found 0 to 13. Determine all the elements from the scenes. Okay, maybe I can do it from here. Oh, yes, I can do it from here. Oh, space is map of the accident. Alright, so that's new as user interfaces go for this game. Very odd. But okay. Are you also a Sherlock Holmes fan? I am. It's been a long time since I've actually read any of Doyle's original stories. I do have at least one anthology on my shelf somewhere. And I haven't, for example, watched all things Holmes in terms of other like visual media. Love the BBC's recent production, but yeah, definitely a modern spin on it. You could say I'm a fan. I'm not a super fan, but I do like a good mystery, especially one that keeps me engaged and wanting to find out what's over the next hill, which goes along with my whole. I like games that take even a modicum of effort to put in a little bit of story. Alright, so... Sorry, what was that? Celebratory bunting. Yeah, okay.
Celebratory bunting. Celebratory bunting.
That is not helpful. Alright. I have the 4 books, the 2 books of Sherlock Holmes, and I get the 3rd when it's released. Yeah, I quite liked I don't remember enough of the original books to know how much, if any, of this is canon, but I really like the fact that he's got a sort of an adopted daughter in this particular game, threading a story element through all of the cases.
This jaunting car would be capable of traveling.
I really should reread the original stories.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
Okay.
The pumpkins fell here after the sprung cart collided.
Trying to figure out the exact chain of events is going to take some effort.
Good day to you, sir. Would you mind answering some questions? I'm investigating this accident.
I do like...
The driver of this cart?
Yeah, I was transporting vegetables from my farm to the London market.
Oh, alright, so... Let's
What
ask
can
what
you tell me about
accident.
the accident? I don't know. There was a collision, I felt the ground, I come over all dizzy.
Okay, what about the collision?
That contraption up in front of me. He stopped all of a sudden, and I tried to avoid him, but I wasn't quick enough.
Do you have any idea what might have caused this cab to stop so sharply?
No idea.
A contraption, huh?
An
Alright.
old sprung cart, which is a puddle of water and electricity. A deadly combination.
Oh, hello. Okay, I wonder if there's a way I can turn that off, because that would be nice not to die a horrible, nasty, horrible death. You did the case that had the girl's stepdad, is her boyfriend already. I don't know if I have done that. It's been a while. I have taken this way. I've unfortunately played this over too long a period of time to remember details from earlier on in the caseload. I don't remember the stepdad, though.
A puddle of water and electricity. A deadly combination.
Here we go.
I won't be able to read.
Sure, little mini game, pull out fuses.
That's it.
But that will enable me to get closer to the card. P.S. My question mark isn't working. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I know that. If there's any part of this mechanism of storyline that, like the overarching storyline involving, especially the adopted daughter that goes into previous games. No, this is the only Sherlock Holmes game in this series that I have picked up. It was on sale on Steam. One of my friends picked it up, and I thought it would be a delightful thing for me to engage in because I don't know, I just like the style of story.
Gas lamps in this square have been upgraded to electricity.
Fair enough. So that's going to be a problem. If there's overarching story that stems that far back, I do not know it. All right, let's find out what's in
This
here.
technical cab was involved in this tragic accident.
A technical cab. Don't exactly know what that means, but... Oh, sorry, that's only going to take me back into there. Really irritating when one of your...
Cab was involved in this tragic accident.
Really irritating one of the keys in the keyboard didn't work. At one point, on my previous laptop, before I had to junk it because it just got too far gone, keyboard stopped working, and I had to find all sorts of creative ways to get around it. Eventually, I just resorted to using a separate keyboard with a USB dongle. Boy, howdy is it irritating.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
Please. Not now. I'm in shock.
Okay. Now, does the map contain... It does. The map actually contains a layout of the various bits of information. What time is it there? Here, where I am, it is 1:30 p.m. on a Monday. But I have Monday off. So, this Monday off anyway. So, okay. Let's check this out.
Played a part in the accident, I'm sure.
Okay. Counterweights.
Celebratory bunting.
Yes, we've already heard about the celebratory bunting.
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
Okay, there have to be more elements to this. I've already seen those flags. So what have we got here? Let's check this out. So we've got... not entirely sure what to look for. Next. To start looking for smaller and smaller clues. Oh, hello. Yes, we go into Sherlock Holmes view things really careful, O vision. You live in Brazil, 6:30 p.m. Well, hello to Brazil. A place I have not yet been, but I should probably someday. Although I'm not much of a traveler, so it will take me time. Okay, so now we're looking at things sort of more closely as Sherlock would see it. We have a pumpkin here. Not entirely sure. So that's a pumpkin. Ah, no, this is not that. What this is this is me. Whoops. This is me trying to piece together how things got put together.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Do I need to go further out to try to find clues, maybe, as to what happened? It says I can only find 8 out of 13. I don't want to start putting things together until I have all the relevant clues, or I'm going to come to bogus conclusions. Oh, alright.
Poor leg.
I guess I saved you. I wish I'd been able to save some of the others. Or at least one of the others. I think I lost one person in that.
The rope holding the bunting was torn apart. A large section of it is now missing.
Alright.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
Okay. But that didn't give me another piece of information. What you?
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
No, you can't. Go away.
Well, how rude. Something we can learn from this? I don't. Oh, hello. No. Unless there's something.
A dead driver.
Oh, here we go.
Another victim of the explosion.
Oh, hello. Okay. I can look a little more
The
closely.
overturned lamps may well have caused the fire and explosion.
Alright, so there were.
The overturned lamps may well have caused the fire and explosion. The overturned lamps.
Okay, I'm not getting additional knowledge there, I'm just getting repeats. Alright, but that did give me. By poking my nose in this direction, it did give me additional knowledge.
A dead driver.
Yeah. But not an increase in the count on the. Yeah, totally
The
rude.
driver is dead. He was killed by the explosion.
Like, I'm trying to solve a crime here, buddy. How about a little help?
What do you make of this accident, Holmes?
Yes. So Watson, it turns out, is not a clue.
Poor leg.
Alright, time to consult the map. Consult the Book of Armaments. Pumpkin cart. Which stopped short. The technical cart. Right, and the technical cart. No, this isn't the technical cart. This is the technical cart, and it stopped. Gotta look a little more closely if this doesn't get my bearings. So this is the so-called technical cart. It's the one that's, it was the one that was caught in the electricity.
What a bloody carnage.
This is the guy saying that he had to stop his cart all of a sudden.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
Explosion caused by the fire.
This cab was set on fire by the explosion at the lamp shop.
Ah, there we go. There's another formal clue.
The driver is dead. He was killed by the explosion.
But that one was not. Okay. Really like to get them all.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident? Celebratory bunting. This mechanism played a part in the accident, I'm sure. This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Okay. Alright, what am I missing? Something on the other side of the street. So, on the side of the street opposite the technical carriage and opposite the wood, over by where the flag is. That's where the flag is. Is there anything further down this street that's relevant? There we go. I can use my T vision, my Sherlock-y vision. What I often call spectral vision in other games, where I can see clues that might be highlighted for me. This may not help, but I'm running out of places to obviously look. Problem is, it may actually prevent me from... Can't hurt, right? Have a look around. Is there something... No, this was just the lamp, though.
The old gas lamps in this square have been upgraded to electricity.
Right, okay, we've already kind of did that. That's how we got close enough to the other carriage. Oh, hello.
Those wardrobes felt like dominoes.
There's another one. There's 10 out of 13. Okay, so we are slowly winding our way in on getting all of the relevant clues for this crime scene. This guy just died from the explosion, right? Oops, that is not what I meant to do. Okay.
Common fate. An uncommon location.
There's number 11. Alright. I'm pretty sure I can piece together what happened once. I probably could piece together a lot of what happened already. But call me pedantic, I kind of want to see if I can find out what they consider to be a clue, because that might be interesting to know. I'm sure you could have. Do me a favor and keep your suppositions under wraps until I work my way through this.
An old sprung cart, which is seen.
But it is a lot of fun speculating on this before the game sort of starts handing you more things. I was actually, in previous streams of this game, I was a little bit more successful with my speculations. This last set of cases has been kind of rough. But that's okay.
Might I ask you some
I can't-
questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly.
Yes, we already know your clues.
My all startled and threw me back against those
Is there a
wall
clue up here? One of the things to always remind oneself is look
The
up.
pumpkins fell here after the sprung cart collided.
Oh, hello. No, that's not the horse. I thought that was the horse.
An old sprung cart, which has seen better days. This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Yes. Yeah, it's not like I don't like sharing a mystery with people, but it is, for me, a lot of fun learning about the story myself. If I get super stuck, then I will definitely quite explicitly say something like, I'm super stuck and I really mean it, feel free to tell me what your thoughts are. No big deal.
A common fate.
Even when I'm pulling my hair out, I like to try to figure my way through it, which makes for a slower game stream, but it also means I'm experiencing the joy of torturing myself with this.
Poor leg.
All right. I wonder if... Yeah, so effectively what I have to do is I have to order the various elements of this according to what actually happened to sort of reconstruct the chain of events. Let's see, what other elements am I required to actually add to this ordering? So that's interesting. All of these elements here, but I'm not required to sort of order them. I'm only really given these 3 elements right here. Oh, note the counterweight. So the explosion was... so we can order a few things here. Alright. Curious, right? Something got knocked over onto the lifting mechanism, perhaps, that caused it to unlock, and caused the platform to cause the counterweights to drop. But what that should have done is that should have caused the platform to rise. Definitely going to be some sort of really twisted Rube Goldberg machine going on here. Wonder what the counterweights might have fallen onto. It seems to me that I'm not entirely sure which of the ordering of these boards versus the platform. What was the platform supposed to be doing? So it snapped up, which would be consistent with the weights coming down. So okay, so if we do this in order, my thoughts would be something like this falls onto there, which releases the counterweight, which raises the platform. Oh, so I guess we got to do that slightly differently. So, all right, hang on. Let's undo all of that. So the order would be the balk, then the lifting mechanism, which then drops the counterweight, which then raises the platform. Somebody simply knocked it over. Maybe a pumpkin fell off the cart. Right, there we go. Let's we gotta reorder these. Nope. Nope. Just make sure these are all unselected. Pumpkin falls off the cart. Knocks over the bit of wood, the balk. Hits the lifting mechanism, triggers the counterweight, and raises the platform. So now we can watch that sequence.
That's it.
Ah, so that was one of the elements I needed to find. Okay. I was unaware that I had to go through that in order just to be able to find one of the elements. Okay, but that's an okay thing, so hang on.
Celebratory bunting.
Now hang on a second. That's where this came from, which means that the axe was wherever that rope attached to. Where the heck was that? So that was where that launched the axe up and landed up. Ah, there it is, right up there. Hello, buddy.
The axe was catapulted by the scaffold, and it landed here.
But I knew that, right? So that's not an additional clue.
Mr. Rose?
Ha 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 ha. Okay,
This
so...
cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
But now there's a new section here. Because of that, the rope snapped.
The
Okay.
rope holding the bunting was torn apart. A large section of it is now missing.
But I knew that, right? So that's this guy. So maybe when the...
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
Trying to spot if that rope came down. So the axe got flung through the air, severed the rope. The rope came down and tangled in something,
This
maybe.
jaunting car would be capable of traveling at great speed.
Where would that have connected to?
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
Please. Not now.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold.
Yes, yes. Okay, so it was struck by the scaffold. What is the next clue that I'm missing? Let's go view the map. Maybe that'll give us a clue. All right, so there's the rope. That's where the axe landed. That's, I guess, the arc. There's the rope that went from there to... I don't know. Like out here somewhere, maybe. Across the street? Or is it there? Okay, hang on. We gotta go back to... Go back to this window. Now, we've already looked at this. But now we know... So, yeah, so that's where that bunting came from.
A common fate. An uncommon location.
Not sure if I'm...
Celebratory bunting.
So... The rope came... Look at this. The rope came down and dragged this horse into the shop, upsetting the oil lanterns and somehow causing an explosion. Which then killed him. Which then startled maybe this vehicle into the... No.
Celebratory bunting.
So, a section of it... Okay, so it fell down and maybe this vehicle got
The
trapped
scaffold and caused it to fall.
in the rope. That drove it into the scaffolding, which caused it to collapse.
This cab was set on fire by the explosion at the lamp shop. Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
Huh, curious. Alright, what am I missing for the final element?
This mechanism played a part in the
Yes, yes, I know it was, thank you.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
But probably not part of the original cause.
This technical cab was involved in this tragic accident.
Alright. See if I doubt my look close vision is going to actually give me any insights here, but not entirely sure what the next task is. And you're still going to be
Might I ask you
rude?
some questions regarding the accident?
No, you can't. Go away.
Lovely. Thanks for nothing.
This jaunting car would be capable of traveling at great speed.
Let's talk to you again.
Bloody carnage.
I kind of think I've discovered what actually caused the accident, but maybe not. So,
An old sprung cart, which has seen better days.
if I were to guess, maybe its wheel came off, which did at least part of this.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
Wow, it's getting a bit repetitious. All right.
The axe was catapulted by the scaffold and it landed here.
That's great and all, but
The rope holding the bunting was torn apart. A large section of it is now missing.
like I'm pretty sure the rope tangled at least one of these carts. Like if I were to guess, so this cart
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
collapsed the scaffold. Which direction did it collapse it? It collapsed it. I guess in this direction.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Sure, that's fine.
My poor leg. Mr. Holmes?
Not helpful. I'm missing a clue and I don't know where to get it. Something drove one of these vehicles.
The overturned lamps may well have caused the fire and explosion.
Yes, I already knew that though.
This horse was blinded by the flag.
There we go. That was what I was missing. And I kind of suggested that was a thing that was happening. So yeah, okay. So the rope severed. It dangled down into the oncoming traffic. Horse got tangled up into it and got pulled into or redirected into the shop. That caused the explosion, which caught this cab on fire and probably helped to redirect this thing into the scaffolding, although given that there's some rope on here too, it probably redirected that as well.
This cab hit the scaffold.
All right. So did we determine all the elements of the accident? I think so. What do we have here? We have accident area and technical cab stopped suddenly for no reason. Okay. That was not that one. It was this one.
This technical cab was involved in this tragic accident.
I don't think there's anything that I can... I kind of know what happened. If it was... If the water was over the street and the lamp came down because of the collision, then the consequence of that would have been electrocution of the horse. But I'm not being permitted to sort of...
The old gas...
to sort of remark on that, I suppose. Are you going to let me make any deductions about this sequence of events?
This jaunting car would be capable of traveling at great speed.
Not sure what you want me to do at this point.
Celebratory bunting.
So I found all the
This
elements.
scaffold and cause
I now have an interface problem.
my poor leg.
I've not seen a traffic accident like this before.
In the sense that I'm not entirely sure what next to do.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Elements found 13 out of 13. Well, that's great and all, but discover what caused the accident. What kind of know what caused the accident?
What a bloody carnage. What a bloody carnage.
As far as I can tell, it was a pumpkin. Except that he stopped because the technical cart stopped. Alright, so the technical cart stopped because of... Okay, hang on. So which came first here, as it were, the chicken or the egg? It was actually not this cart colliding with this lamp. It was the tipping over of these into the lamp that broke the lamp into the puddle that ultimately caused that horse to stop really, really suddenly. And then this guy stopped really, really suddenly, which then triggered the whole pumpkin incident. So, in effect,
Those wardrobes felt like dominoes.
the real answer...
This jaunting car would be capable of traveling with great speed.
The real answer is effectively... This guy clipped... Except he says he got slammed... No, I gotta talk to him
Might
again.
I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
So there's a circle around here. I'm... He's saying that the explosion from this slammed him up against the wardrobes. But we already kind of deduced that the reason that the horse got thrown in here was because of the rope, which is because of the axe, which is because ultimately down to the pumpkin. Why?
What a bloody carnage.
Is this entirely just down to, like, did this come down to... Alright, I gotta look into the chit-chat here, if I can. So... Sprung cart. There was a collision. Can you tell me... Okay, so I was transporting vegetables from my farm to the London market. Can you tell me about the accident? I don't know. There was a collision. I fell to the ground and I came over all dizzy. What did he collide with? That contraption up in front of me. He stopped all of a sudden, and I tried to avoid him, but I wasn't quick enough. Do you have any idea what might have caused this cap to stop so sharply? Contraption up in front of me.
Those wardrobes felt like dominoes.
Well, up in front of him is that way.
This is an absolute disaster.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Alright, going back into the log. Benjamin Fell, let me go talking nonsense. This hammer hit me on the leg. It flew up from the scaffolding I put up, but that's also probably where the axe went. So the axe got flung up too. The anything collapsed, the hammer flew out and costed me leg. Okay. That contraption up in front of me, he stopped all of a sudden and I tried to avoid him, but I wasn't quick enough. He's not talking about this guy. He's talking about, I guess, this guy.
This jaunting car would be capable of traveling with great speed.
There's something about...
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
What
This mechanism played a part in it.
contraption is this guy talking about? Alright. The collision was that contraption up in front of me. He stopped all of a sudden. I tried to avoid him, but I wasn't quick enough. So he collided with... him.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold
No.
when it fell. Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
Please, not now.
Yes, yes, you're in shock.
Shock.
This technical cab was involved in this tragic accident. An old sprung car.
Okay, I am now officially stuck. I do not know what contraption he's talking about, unless he's talking about this, but then why would he stop because of that? So,
What a
okay.
bloody carnage.
The pumpkins fell here after the sprung car collided.
So it collided with what?
This mechanism played a part in the accident, I'm sure.
He was at near the start of all of this. He started a huge chain of events here.
This cab was set on fire by the explosion at the lamp shop. This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
This is the only vehicle that doesn't have a horse in front of it. And
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
so if that vehicle...
Oh, poor leg. This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
So roughly ahead of him is that vehicle. It's the only one without a horse. If he stopped suddenly because he collided with that, then he tried to swerve and then ended up over there, which then caused the rest of the chain of events, then this must be the thing that caused the...
Celebratory hunt.
But it's not really all that clear how the rope ended up on it. Oh, hello?
A common
No.
fate. An uncommon location.
No.
This cab was set on fire by the explosion. The driver is dead. He was killed by the explosion. This jaunting car would be capable of traveling at great speed.
Alright, well, if anybody has an idea, feel free to suggest it at this point. Because I don't really feel like stalling a stream any further. There is a thing he's referring to as the device, and it doesn't appear to be a thing that I can...
Absolute disaster. This technical cab was
I'm
involved
missing a
in
thing.
accident.
I'll go to the map.
I believe I've enough information about this accident.
Oh, really? Really? That's all I had to do. Interface fail. Utter interface fail, because there's nothing... Oops, I don't want to do that. So, a W past time. Present time. Alright. So, yeah, so nothing in my... Okay, I rescind the comment. I should be able to move forward at this point. Yeah, it was not queuing me in that I had to go back to here in order to possibly trigger something, so... If you exit this part, your progress will not be saved. Exit anyway? No. So what can I do anything to this? So, present time. Ah, this is where it's getting me to do the ordering. If it had hinted to me to go back to this thing, I probably would have found this like 20 minutes ago. After the last... so anyway, my apologies. I'm either... I'm not going to claim I'm thick on this one. This one, I don't know. I kind of feel it should have suggested to me to go back and look at this. In any case... Let's see if we can figure this out here. We have... Okay, so... Let's figure out where things ended up. So... So one of these things, so this collided with the scaffolding, and then the scaffolding fell, which then took him out. Oh, this is going to be tricky. He spilt his pumpkins. Which then launched that, which spooked you. That somewhere in there, you were driving by. There's an explosion, which knocked number 7 into these, which then knocked down the pole, which then killed you. It's gonna be close. It's not gonna be, probably not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be close.
Must include all the participants in the accident sequence.
I tried to avoid him, but I wasn't quick enough. Okay. So that means that 4 got startled by 7, so 7 had to get there a little bit earlier. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, because, hang on. Yeah, I get that. I need to watch that one more time. Yeah, I need to have,
participants in the accident scene.
I need 7 to get in there earlier to stall 4. Oh, this is going to be fun. Alright, reset the sequence. Wow, alright. Mental foo here. So, you basically... No, that's not what I wanted. Set the sequence, please. You... clip this. While you... One.
Must include all the participants in the accident sequence.
This is going to be tricky because I'm not sure how much of this I can actually deduce for absolute certain. So you come in here. You might actually be waiting. But you come in. Get startled. Which then triggers you. Which then triggers you. Which then triggers you. Which then causes the explosion, which takes out you. And then you. And then you. And then you. I think, did we get everything? No, damn. Okay, I wonder if I can... No, can I undo? Can I click on you? Yes, I can. I can actually walk this back. So... After he goes into the wall, that's an explosion, which then gets you. Which then knocks number 3 into here. Which then causes that to fall, which then causes you to get electrocuted. Is there anything I'm missing? Alright, let's watch the sequence.
I should pay more attention to details.
It's gotta be close. It's gotta be close. This is gonna be miserable to figure out because I'm gonna be super close. The contraption in front of me stopped all of a sudden. All happened so quickly, there was an explosion and my horse startled and threw me up against his wardrobes. Alright. I don't know what ones of these could be out of order, but... Okay. Reset the sequence. You have to be the first. If you're the second and you're the third... and... that... So, if he came up and he's startled by the explosion, then this guy's coming in late, but he's the one who actually sets off. No, that's definitely not fourth. Like, in order for that to happen, the rope has to already be down. So we're undoing that. Because that makes no sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. that falls, that crushes him. I think he was trying to avoid this guy, not this guy. Actually, maybe it was him. Maybe he was going to go around this way but got startled by this one. Except he did say contraption, which suggests that. But let's try this anyway. If he goes in there first, so...
Must include all the participants in the accident sequence.
Right. Then that would set off this. Which then sets off this, which then sets off this guy over here. Which then causes the explosion. Except... that doesn't happen first. This... he moves in. Okay, I'm gonna undo this. I'm gonna say that he comes in next. It all happens so quickly. This guy swerves in. This guy gets in there. At which point, this has had a chance to burn, which then kills him, and also slams him up against this. Which means this then happens, then this, and then this guy gets electrocuted. Maybe that's the intent here. Oh, did I... no, I got the rope. Yeah, no, you're right. Don't definitely check the rope. What if the explosion saga happened before 1 hits 2? No, because the reason the explosion happens... oh. No. So... well, okay, let's just watch this sequence and see if it...
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Contraption in front of me stopped all of a sudden. I tried to avoid it, but it wasn't quick enough. Okay, well, let's try it again. So, the suggestion here, what happens if the explosion saga happened before 1 hits 2? Yeah, okay. It's possible. So... let's say this guy comes in first. This guy comes in second. There's a swerve. That causes this to do this, and then the rope. Then that... the explosion happens, which causes this guy to swerve into this, and that causes that to fall, and then, but somewhere in all of this we have, okay, no, we gotta back that up. Undo, so we have 8, so 8, 7. We have the burning happening. We have to get all the players in play, and it's gonna take a moment after the crash for that explosion to happen, maybe, let's just say. So, actually, what would cause him to swerve? 7 would swerve because the explosion has already happened. So if we have the explosion happen at this point, this guy gets caught. But you see, here's the problem. Number 2 could have happened really early. So actually, immediately after 7... no, immediately after... this guy can't be 1. And the reason he can't be 1 is he says that the explosion happened, like, It happens so quickly that he said the explosion happened quickly, but that could have been after everybody had already come to a stop, right? So that doesn't mean that he got there first. So this is actually could be a plausible way to go. So having done this, 8 gets hit. This guy who's in the alley here blocking him gets slammed into these. Oh, except I gotta figure out when... Seven gets slammed into here. All right, reset the sequence. There's some ambiguity as to when this guy actually slammed into the scaffolding, pulling it down. I'm gonna check the story. I'm gonna check the no, I don't want to skip. Is there a way for me to... If you exit this, your progress will not be saved. Exit anyways. Yes. Actually, that's fine. I gotta take a closer look at this. So this guy here is the one that I'm having trouble placing a timing on.
The scaffold and caused it to fall.
So we know that one and this, the order that this one and this one happened. Ah, that's the clue. All right, so hang on. So
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
so that caused it to fall, and then
This cab was set on fire by the explosion at the lamp.
so that has to be in place. Okay, so we know. Yeah, we know that that guy
was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Right. This one's going to get crushed at some point. So at the very least, we know that this one is going to happen, and then this one is going to happen. When does this guy actually slam into it? I would expect this guy slams into it after the explosion happens. Well, definitely after the explosion. Definitely after the sequence of events that causes this guy to careen into this, I think. Okay, so this guy comes around the corner. This guy stops. And dumps the pumpkins. This contraption goes off, which triggers this. At this point, things get a little bit more scary. This guy's just sort of waiting here at present. It's not clear why, but this guy's definitely last. So that causes this to careen into this, which then pushes this guy into here. Then drops this down, and this guy races forward. Then maybe this guy comes in, can't figure out how to dodge everything, takes that out, and drops it on him. Plausible, provided some of these people were standing around for a while. Alright.
I must include all the participants in the accident sequence.
He stopped all of a sudden. One stopped all of a sudden. Why would one stop all of a sudden? Because that's the guy he's talking about. He stopped all of a sudden, and I tried to avoid him, but wasn't quick enough. All happened so quickly, there was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes. I did. I forgot the explosion death. Good catch. Well, I can unwind it and get back to that. So let's go back to 9, 8, 7. So that's 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna undo. Nope. Hang on. Why are we stuck? Come on. Oh, there we go. 8, 9. Nope. 10, 11, 12. I suppose it could be that, yeah? No, is there... Now what have I missed? Is there supposed to be 13? What have I missed? That. Okay, yeah, I've done a bad again. Boy, this is taxing my brain a little here. So we're going to undo that. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Forgot the explosion death. You're absolutely right. Let's watch the sequence.
I don't think so.
Nope.
I should pay more attention to detail.
It's a nice try. Tricky. So... Okay, now hang on a second. I kept saying that this guy was the only one that did not have a horse. And I kept trying to figure out what he was talking about by contraption. So, check me on this. This is the way I'm going to try this. I'm going to say that this guy here... No, not this guy. Well, except this guy has... See, that's the problem. This guy... No, I need to find present time. This guy's horse may have just run away. But check this out. It looks like these two guys are maybe... I don't know. When he's about to make his decision, there's somebody he's trying to swerve to avoid. This... What if they both tried to swerve? Right? What if he was coming around this corner, and this guy got spooked by him, and they both caused sort of simultaneous disasters? If that were the case, okay, this guy has rope on him, so he can only move sort of after the rope has come down, because before that point it's not relevant, which means that this guy is not involved in the start. He ends up with rope on him. He ends up with a piece of the rope on him. And so that has to be after the rope has come down. Which means that when the rope falls down, both these two are actually sort of entangled in the rope. This one probably entangles the driver, maybe, and that they get steered into the scaffolding. All right, so we got to pay a little bit more attention to the details here. That still kind of means, though, that this guy and this guy were approaching. I still think it's this guy and this guy were approaching. Because this guy was going... Number 2 is going at really high speed. Or it looked like it was a vehicle that could come at very high speed. So I think these two have to be... So if we watch that, we have this guy come in and this guy come in. And actually, I'm going to put it in the other I'm going to put it in the other order, actually. I'm going to actually put it in this order. So let's undo that. You're 1 and you're 2. The reason for that is then we have this guy coming up to here, and then this guy coming in and saying, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I try to swerve, and it's too late." At that point, we set this off. We set that off. We set off the rope. We set off this guy colliding into here. No, yeah, okay. So it can happen, Because this guy's a little bit ahead of this guy, when this rope falls, let's say that means that this happens just a fraction of a second earlier. So 4 ends up impacting this, which ends up maybe impacting this. This guy... Not really liking that ordering, but let's try this instead. 4... 5 hits this, 6 hits this. This guy gets crushed. This explosion goes off. This guy gets blown up. This guy gets pushed into these, which then pushes into the lampshade, which then electrocutes this guy. That's 12. What did I miss? I missed a thing. Really? Really? I gotta undo this all the way back to there. Alright, reset the sequence. Trying again. I will get this! By gum! Alright. Once more into the breach. So, this guy comes first, and this guy comes around the corner and gets startled. That sets off this, which then sets off the rope. This guy... Oops, that's not what I want. Back up, back up. Nope. You're first. You're second. You're next. You're next. The explosion goes off, knocks him, destroys him, knocks the other guy into here. We then get the post. How about that? That's at least plausible. Can you toss me a bone here? I may actually have to put this puzzle down if I can't figure this out, and then just look it up, because I'm getting really, really close. I'm missing a clue. I can't spend forever on this. On a stream, anyway. I suppose I could.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
There's an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against these wardrobes. Okay. Maybe 1 and 2 are misordered, because maybe the contraption he's talking about is the thing at number 3. Contraption up in front of me, he stopped, but it says he stopped all of a sudden. I swerved to avoid him. Okay, maybe these 2 are misordered.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
This is weirdly frustrating. If this guy got caught at the very last minute... Alright, so this guy. Let's say that his wheel just... He swerved, but his wheel just fell off. Alright, for reasons that I'm not entirely sure. And that goes, then the front guy here goes. Oops. Nope. Thank you. Gotta undo that. Rope. Right. Front guy. Horse heading into the explosion. Tower. Takes this guy out. This guy races in. The explosion goes off. Takes out him. And actually, maybe... The order actually could, in principle, be something like explosion, then this guy. But then it's exactly that moment when this guy happens to be passing by, which then knocks into him, which then knocks down the post, which then takes out this guy. Alright.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Hey! Code after 1 million times. I'm done! YouTube! Oh, you're not wrong. Well, I don't. This is why I don't do this professionally for a living, right? Not enough practice. Um, plus, I have a day job. No. Yeah, I don't do a lot of content editing on. In fact, almost no content editing at all to get it onto YouTube. I record it on Twitch because it's my live stream, and then I hit the export button. Away it goes off into YouTube, and that's where I leave it. Yeah. So. Don't expect any brilliant, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, any of the other crazy YouTubers out there. Lots of them that I'm watching these days. Quite like Lady Lecta, she does some really good stuff. Don't expect any fine editing detail. I can barely rise to the level of witty commentary while I pull my hair out, but notice that the number of complaints that I have has actually dropped down to 1. And that implies that effectively I got most of the sequence right, but something is happening that distracts 1. Except I can't think of what to pull out here that would actually cause that, right? It's like... I mean... Boy, that's frustrating. Now that's... Yeah, this is clearly an explosion that happens as a result of... yeah. So what causes... You come in here and spill it, because I keep thinking this guy's... Okay, so this guy is clearly showing that he's sort of impacting the wardrobes as the explosion occurs. I think I got that right. Being a little bit more careful to identify what the sequence actually shows him to do. He's getting distracted by something. Yeah. Who was this contraption? I mean, it could be the... It could be this thing here, number 3, but it's not a he, it's not a driven thing, right? It could be... So if he's coming up here really, really fast, something stopped really, really quickly in front of him, and I figured it had to have been either this guy or, like, there's nobody else in front of him. He's heading in a westward direction here, given north is up. For him to swerve out of the way because something stopped. Is it somebody that passed by here? Possibly number 1 stopped for a different reason? But then that's what I put in, and it still didn't like it. I tried to avoid it, but I wasn't quick enough. Wait a minute. Why is that marked as number 1? That can only happen after number 7. I have in fact goofed that somehow. So this guy stops. It doesn't matter why he stops. This guy swerves. Causes that, causes that, causes that, and that. The explosion doesn't happen next. This does, which then immediately crushes him. Then the explosion happens, then this guy, and then this guy immediately after, which then slams into these, knocks down the post, which then kills him. And I've missed another thing. Damn it, somewhere along the lines. What did I miss? Oh, I failed to click on the darn rope. I'm pretty sure I've done this sequence before, though. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. But then this happens, which takes him out. Explosion happens, takes out you. Takes out you. Slides into that. Drops the post. Kills that guy. Okay.
It wasn't like that.
It was totally like that. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'm missing something. Someone stopped in front of me. And the only thing to me that constitutes a contraption, where is the contraption? I need to double check this. It's
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Yeah, that's fine.
This jaunting car would be capable of traveling at great speed. This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall. This cab was set on... The driver is dead. He was killed by the explosion. This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall. This technical cab was involved in this tragic accident.
He stopped all of a sudden. Alright, I'm officially stumped. I'm missing a bit of wording somewhere. There's a collision. I fell on the ground. I came over all dizzy. What did you collide with? Contraption up in front of me. He stopped all of a sudden. I tried to avoid him, but I wasn't quick enough. And that was this guy talking. I can only imagine he was referring to this. What if somebody here is lying?
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly. There was an explosion, and my horse startled and threw me back against those wardrobes.
I don't know. I just don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It wasn't like that.
Now, the minute I try to put one ahead of time like that, I end up with an extra sort of constraint error, as it were. Let's go take a look at that rope on the back of number 5 there. That's over... That's this guy. No. Hold the phone. How did that rope get there? It's possible. I have to ask the question on how this crashed.
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall.
Alright, let's try something a little bit unusual here then. Let's say that this guy happened first, which knocked this down, which knocked it into him. Then this guy came around. And this caused the explosion, which impacted him. Oh, we got 7, 8, that's fine. And then 9. No, I missed the thing. Did I miss? I missed the rope. Let's see if I can do this so that I don't have to go all the way back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you. I don't know how to resolve this conflict. You keep saying the contraption up in front of me. The only thing I can think of is what I currently have marked as number 10. If number 10 was lying, then maybe we have him go first and then him, which then knocks this down. No, reset sequence. We have him come in. And then we have him come in. And then somehow we have like a simultaneous something like this. This seems complicated. I think it's going to generate more complaints than fewer. Yeah, I'm not buying that either. Alright. I'm just treading over old ground. So, here we go. It's time to call it. Nobody else has any ideas. I'm looking this up. Because I could spend forever doing this, and the stream is already going on too long. And I kind of like to get to more content. So, enough of this. Nobody's going to walk this deep into it who isn't already here. So... let's see here. Quickly checking out the walkthrough and trying not to see anything that isn't relevant to the exact problems that I am having. Proving to be a little bit tricky. Okay, the 13 elements involved. You'll begin analyzing the accident to see how it happened. In order to begin, you must run around and examine the 13 elements involved. Okay, so here's the solution as they see it. And I guess this arguably, I think I can probably guess where the difference is. They've decided that that one's first, and that maybe the horse slips on the water. I could possibly see that, or they slow down because of the water. And if that's the thing that he started, if that's the thing that started all this, I'm not even looking at the result now. Given that that's number one, and you could argue I should have really gotten that. I'm gonna try to do this without actually even looking at it. That troubles on you, that triggers to you, that triggers that, and then you. Guy that gets slammed into these guys, and at the very tail end of all of this, this falls down and electrocutes this. So, watching a sequence. See if I got this right, having had only that one reordering clue. There you go. Son of a... Okay. So, I'm going to claim this.
Why did the cab stop?
Alright. So the reason all of this occurred is because this guy over here slowed down early to avoid the water. And that was the thing that I was missing. Everything else I analyzed correctly. I missed that. And again, throughout all of that, it was like, somebody has to be distracting this guy. Except it's not totally... And this was even, by the way, marked as the contraption. I should have... Such an idiot. Alright, well. There we go. Let's continue on with this, shall we?
Tattoo.
Alright, tattoo. That's gonna bug me, because I should have gotten that.
This man was killed by electricity, as shown by the distinct mark on his hand.
Well, that's great and all, but that happened at the tail end of everything, so that's actually not the thing I want to know.
This man was armed with a revolver. Webley, I suspect.
Pungent mud. Alright, so that's not that interesting.
There's a metal strap. There's a metal strap.
Okay, so he wasn't electrically isolated, which explains that, but it doesn't explain why he slowed down. So what are you up to? Okay.
Rasco. Yes, I know him. He's a small-time local criminal.
Sticky licorice. Okay. Electrical burn, which isn't really that surprising. Okay, let's see what we got here. The driver and the passenger in the tangled cab were electrocuted, but not by the electricity from the lamppost. Okay. The question remains, where did the electricity originate? The cause of the disaster was a sudden halt of the technical cab. The lamppost fell after the cab has ceased moving. Why did the cab stop? Still don't know that. I'm not sure. Okay.
This crank has been turned. There's a metal strapping. There's a metal strapping.
Our super spectrovision.
Underneath the paint here. This cab was painted recently. Could be important. I'll need to find a way to remove this fresh paint.
Okay, that's a thing. Is there a chemist's somewhere along the line here? Cupcake shop. Yeah, I really kind of like that. I don't want a cupcake now, not gonna lie. No, that's not where I want to be. How do I...
What do you make of this accident, Holmes?
That I need somebody with some acid.
My poor leg.
I kind of already did this guy, though.
This crank has been turned.
Okay, I need to get...
This cab was painted recently. This cab...
Okay, so where do I get acetone? Hello.
Some kind of a piece of fabric drenched in solvent.
Yoink. Yoink. Well, that solves that problem. So weird they'd have that lying around, but alright.
Underground Electric Railways Company of London.
Okay. The technical cab, which held the victims, in fact belonged to the Underground Electric Railways Company of London. It has been repainted to hide the company name. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
There's a metal strapping.
Okay, can we actually go somewhere then? No, not yet. Maybe we can talk to the cops though.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
Please. Not now.
I've not seen a traffic accident like this before.
Mr. Holmes?
Yeah, here's a thought. How about you give me some help here? Okay.
Might I ask you some questions regarding the accident?
It all happened so quickly.
The driver is dead. He was killed by the explosion. This cab was set on fire by the explosion at the lamp shop.
It's got to be... I've looked around this place a million times. Unless something has drastically changed.
There's a metal strapping.
There's got to be something on this thing itself.
This crank has been turned. This crank has been turned.
Okay, once again, I'm now at the position of... Now what do I do?
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell. My poor leg.
Discover what caused the accident. Find out what caused the technical cab to suddenly stop. Alright, alright, nope. Let's,
This mechanism played a part in the accident, I'm sure.
what would have caused this to suddenly stop?
A pneumatic hammer.
Okay, that's kind of interesting, but I don't know if it's what caused the thing to suddenly stop. Something on the ground.
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
Can't put those back in just to make trouble.
This is an absolute disaster.
If I'm traveling down the way here, get a pneumatic drill in the back. Indeed.
What a bloody carnage.
There's a metal strap. There's a metal strapping. There's a metal strapping. There's a metal strapping.
What kind of...
This carriage was struck by the scaffold when it fell.
They were headed this way.
This cab hit the scaffold and caused it to fall. The axe was catapulted by the scaffold and it landed here.
Nope, I am out of ideas again. Boy, this is proving to be a bit of a frustrating little bit of adventure.
This mechanism played a part in the accident, I'm sure.
Underground electrical railways. They painted over it because they didn't want to be identified, perhaps. Wait, hang on. There is a braking system on this.
A pneumatic hammer. Mud. Oh, smells bad.
Ooh. Okay, that was not intuitive at all. But that was the only thing that was really unusual about its placement, is that the wheel was running over that grate.
There is some electrical wiring here beneath the manhole. There is some electrical wiring.
That was weird. That was a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought... I went back and forth as to whether or not the manhole meant anything, but I couldn't actually get it to trigger anything except by that weird... Okay, well, whatever. Complaints later. Let's continue on with the game. Oh, hello. Okay, so we're following the wire up and around and in here. All right. All right. we're going to remove that. What we want is a 1-3. And we want a 2-2. Is that even a thing?
There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space for this lockpick.
I need to push both of them up, but to do that, I need a 2-2, and I don't think I have one. No, I don't want to skip. Sorry, that was totally a misclick. Alright, I gotta find whether or not I can even fit in.
There's no space for this lockpick.
Can I literally add no other...
There's no space for... There's no space...
Thanks for stopping by. Can't even tell what to say. There we go. That's better. Finally got the chat window up on my screen, unobscured. Thanks for coming by, Pie Gamer. I really appreciate it. That is a good catch. The ground outside the, or inside the cab. I'm not sure that really connected to the manhole cover as such, but anyway, really glad you were you stopped by to say hi. Yeah, 1-4. Oh, hang on. I can lift that up by 3, and the next one by and the inner one by 4. Be a 4-3 maybe.
There's no space for this lockpick.
Right. No, because the 4 is in the wrong spot. What I really need is a 3-4. Thank you. There we go.
Seen such a device before.
Okay. Not sure how I'm supposed to deduce this. Oh, I see. 1.
electrical charge which affected the technical cab came from here.
There we go.
I can see the technical cab very well from here.
Here we go. Women are now allowed to smoke in public, the court declares. Today, Magistrate Adcox ruled that it is no longer a crime for a woman to smoke in a public area, in London at least. He then proceeded to discharge Mary Townsend, Edna Custer, and Elsie Watkin, 3 ladies who had been smartly arrested for smoking in Trafalgar Square.
An open bottle of cheap wine. An open... A single glass.
Alright, I don't think there's anything else for me to discover in here, but let's just be extra careful.
My poor leg.
Holmes, I was looking for you. I have an idea about the accident.
Never mind. This one is murder.
What?
What?
You? You're a murderer, eh?
You're Ed.
Are you sure, Holmes?
Oh yes. A murder and an accident, because the killer, by electrocuting the cab, created this chaos. And so this multiple crash is now our great chance.
Our great chance? Of what,
The
Holmes?
culprit could not have planned for this to happen, don't you see? And it is possible that he is still here due to the prompt arrival of the police. Now I see 5 men who could be our murderer. Let us take a look at the map.
Okay. It's an interesting... Where is my 5th culprit? There was a guy somewhere over here who was... Where was Mr. Rude Guy? Back here I already tagged. No, that's not Rude Guy. Having done that, establish suspects amongst the people. In order to be able to catch this, you'd have to actually be watching. This man is beneath the window where the extra device is. Perhaps he had time to activate it before entering the street. Middle of the street, trapped by the accident, which is possibly why he hasn't vacated the area. He's near the end of the square. He attempted to leave, perhaps because he did not wish to see the police. He had time to activate the electrical device and run away. He's some distance from the flat where the electrical device is situated. Yeah. No, you are not really a suspect. The man as a driver, as part of the accident, fortunately is not wounded by the explosion. This man as a driver, as obviously he was occupied during the accident, it was not even possible to activate the electrical device at the same time. Really don't think it could have been him. I'm marking you as not a suspect. Arguably attempted to leave. You are right in line with it. He's beneath the window with the electrical devices. Perhaps he had the time to activate it before entering the street. But he got trapped by the accident. Don't believe it was him. This man is a driver. It was obvious he was occupied during the accident. The man is a driver who was in the area where the accident took place. It was one of his pumpkins that activated the scope. Nope, don't believe it was him either. Because the reason this guy swerved at all is arguably because of the guy here. He would have not. He would have known that this guy. I mean, nobody wanted to set off all this crazy. They just wanted to electrocute this guy. And there's no reason why this guy would put himself in the position of being trapped here. The reason why I suspect him is just because he's sort of an agitated loner on the edge of everything who couldn't escape the results of everything. The reason why this guy might be a suspect is because... is because he could clearly, a clear line of sight on what's going on here, and he's right beneath the apartment in question.
No, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Yeah, see, now I'm just guessing because I'm being sloppy. What if you...
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Why you? He wasn't here, actually, was he? He was over by where the hammer is. So that's this guy. Oh, and he almost had his leg taken off by the hammer, perhaps. The reason he's here is because he had to get tended to with his leg. Alright, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to call it here because I have another obligation that has just come up. However, I will come back and revisit this exactly on our next stream. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next stream. Codeweaver